Welcome to the channel. My name is Matthias. Today we're going to talk about What If Season 3, which, at least for me, it wasn't my cup of tea. This series in general, like the first one, I'm going to do a deep dive into Season 1 and 2. They were okay. They had an interesting concept to them, but I feel like they lost the plot in Season 3. So without further ado, let's get into the good, the bad, and the ugly of What If Season 3. So with Season 3, you had the standalone episodes, which only two of them I really liked. And so first, let's talk about the heroes that they chose for the episodic stories. And outside of one episode where you have the Hulk and the Avengers, you get all the B and C list characters from the MCU. Now, I love B and C list characters. I feel you can get some really great stories out of them. You have more freedom sometimes working with these characters. But the lack of the big guns from the MCU, like Doctor Strange, Spider-Man, Captain America, Iron Man, none of them are present or maybe referenced very briefly. Also, there's a lot of focus on the characters. I'm not sure in what phase the MCU is in, 4 or 5, but the latest batch of new heroes, that most of them just don't work for me. I guess the standout episodes would be the ones that revolve around the Winter Soldier and the Red Guardian. That one's fantastic. And the other one would be the cowboy-themed Shang-Chi episode. That one was actually really great. Even if we had a fake out, I thought we were going to get the Hood in that episode, and they do a bait and switch there. Also, the Riri Williams episode, even though the whole premise of the story was way too out there, her evolution and fusion with Vision was really cool. Sorry if I spoiled that. Sorry. Just in case, even though I spoiled that, spoiler warnings from this point on. Then you have the recurring character in all these What If series of Howard the Duck, who I've never found too interesting, at least within the context of the MCU. Then there's an episode that revolves around Agatha Harkness. That one was a pretty easy skip for me. But then I just don't remember the other heroes that popped up in this series. The stories were so underwhelming in general. There's one that revolves around Falcon, where the Avengers are using these Voltron type of robots, and they're fighting these kaiju Hulks. And that story just went on and on. It's oh God, just end it. It wasn't too interesting. Now, the main plot of this season is that Uatu has been interfering too much in the realities that he has been observing. This leads to conflict between him and the rest of the Watchers. So at the end of the season, we have this team that I think they actually call themselves the Exiles. They set out to save their friend Uatu. And I must note that the members of this team, except for one, do not appear in any of the episodes of this season, like in previous seasons where we had the main character of each respective episode forming this ad hoc team created by Uatu to fight against this threat that was a menace to all of the multiverse. The 4 characters that we get are the remnants from previous teams. And we get one character that would be from this season, that would be the daughter of Howard the Duck, and that side character from the Thor movies that, for the life of me, I just can't remember her name. And then we got that new character from the last season, the Native American girl, who seems to be the fill-in character for Blink. They traded her out for this character. Now, again, if I don't remember the names of the characters, that is very telling of how not interested I was in all these episodes. We get this final confrontation between the main Watchers and Uatu's Exiles, and the battle just goes on, and I just remember just checking my phone, just doing other things. I sort of checked out there. The action in general just wasn't too compelling, and this is in contrast, for example, with X-Men 97, where the action was freaking awesome. Here, it was just bleh. And they never really explained the motivations behind the Watchers and what they do in the first place. They just repeat over and over again that we have to watch and that's it. It was a chore to get through these last 2 episodes, literally. They had Storm Thor that I thought she would be super interesting, and she's just there doing Storm Thor stuff. That's that. And don't get me started about Ultron Vision, whom he reappears in this season. They find one in one universe where he killed all life on it. And Ultron Vision reached the conclusion that this wasn't the best idea ever, that it was just a waste of time. And the Exiles end up recruiting Ultron Vision to fight against the Watchers. And when he does, he uses his Infinity Gems or stones against them. And I thought, and it's established in MCU canon that you can't use the gems outside of your own reality, so that didn't make any sense. So outside of my stupid nerd rant, I'm gonna leave this video here. Like, this is an easy skip of a series, and the grade that I'm gonna give it is a 15. It's probably the lowest that I've given up until this point in these review series. So I'm gonna leave this video here. I hope you guys liked it. See you guys next time. Bye.